Did you know that the designer handbag you bought on vacation or that football jersey you picked up from a street vendor could be funding modern slavery? While millions of consumers hunt for bargain designer dupes thinking they're getting a harmless deal, there's a shocking human cost hidden behind these purchases that most people never consider. This isn't just about intellectual property theft or lost profits for luxury brands. We're talking about forced labor, child exploitation, and human trafficking on a massive scale. And now Princess Eugenie is taking a stand. On Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, Princess Eugenie launched a major new campaign called Hidden Threads, Fake Fashion, a human rights scandal during a high-profile event in New York City. The timing couldn't be more significant, as this announcement comes just days after her mother, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, was dropped by multiple charities following the revelation of a controversial 2011 email to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Princess Eugenie, who co-founded the anti-slavery collective with childhood friend Julia de Boinville in 2017, used the platform of the United Nations General Assembly and New York Climate Week to expose what she calls one of fashion's most overlooked human rights scandals. The 35-year-old royal didn't mince words when describing the scope of the problem facing the global fashion industry. In a statement released during the campaign launch, Princess Eugenie declared, "Fake fashion fuels modern slavery, and the anti-slavery collective is determined to confront and challenge it. It's not always obvious, but the clothes and accessories we buy can come at a hidden cost to people and the planet. There are 28 million people today who are forced to work in dangerous and exploitative industries for little or no pay. The numbers behind this crisis are staggering and paint a picture that should concern every consumer." According to the Anti-Slavery Collective, half of European consumers aged 15 to 24 now say they see no issue in buying fake designer goods. This generation, raised on social media platforms like TikTok, where designer dupes have become a massive trend, may not realize the true cost of their purchases. The organization estimates that 218 million children aged between 5 and 17 around the world work, with 70% of these children considered victims of child labor, including within fashion supply chains. These aren't just statistics on a page. These represent real children, families, and communities trapped in cycles of exploitation that the counterfeit fashion industry helps perpetuate. The campaign launch took place at Gold's House in Manhattan, where Princess Eugenie partnered with the Transnational Alliance to Combat Illicit Trade, known as Tracit, and Entropy, a leader in artificial intelligence-powered verification technology. The event allowed guests to see and feel the realities of counterfeit fashion supply chains firsthand and learn how emerging technologies and bold public-private partnerships can disrupt illicit trade. During her appearance, Princess Eugenie emphasized the personal nature of consumer responsibility, stating, "A fake handbag or football shirt may look harmless, but it often carries with it the fingerprints of exploitation." The Anti-Slavery Collective is determined to make sure consumers understand the true cost of these items and to call for greater accountability across supply chains. The princess's passion for this cause didn't develop overnight. Her commitment to fighting modern slavery began during a 2012 trip to India, where she and Julia de Boinville met Aloka Mitra, a social activist who supports vulnerable women and children. That encounter opened their eyes to the realities of human trafficking and exploitation, leading them to establish the Anti-Slavery Collective 5 years later. Princess Eugenie told reporters exclusively, "It's easy to see fake fashion as a victimless crime, but this is far from the reality. The people making, distributing, and selling these items are too often victims of coercion or exploitation." This campaign is about creating a call to action for consumers. We want people to pause and think about where their fakes come from and how they were made, because only then can we start to change the demand that fuels this exploitation. The scope of the counterfeit fashion industry is mind-boggling. According to campaign materials, fake fashion is a booming industry worth hundreds of billions of dollars, driving what they describe as a hidden web of exploitation and harm to people and planet. From unregulated factory floors in developing countries to street markets in major cities, the supply chain for counterfeit goods often involves some of the worst forms of human rights abuses. The campaign specifically calls attention to evidence of forced labor, child labor, and human trafficking behind fake handbags, trainers, and football shirts. Princess Eugenie explained, "Behind counterfeit fashion are men, women, and children coerced into making, distributing, or selling fake goods, often at great personal risk and with little gain." The timing of this campaign launch has added layers of complexity for Princess Eugenie and her family. Just days before her New York appearance, British newspapers revealed that her mother, Sarah Ferguson, had sent a 2011 email to Jeffrey Epstein describing the convicted sex offender as a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. The revelation sent shockwaves through the royal family and the charitable community. The controversial email was reportedly sent after Ferguson had publicly denounced Epstein in a March 2011 interview with the Evening Standard, where she said, "I abhor pedophilia and any sexual abuse of children and know that this was a gigantic error of judgment on my behalf. Whenever I can, I will repay the money and have nothing ever to do with Jeffrey Epstein ever again." However, according to reports, Ferguson then sent an email to Epstein apologizing for the public comments and reassuring him that she had not used the word pedophilia in reference to him specifically, writing, "You have always been a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend to me and my family." Ferguson's spokesperson has explained that the email was sent after Epstein threatened legal action for defamation, with advisor James Henderson revealing that the email was sent in the context of advice the Duchess was given to try to assuage Epstein and his threats. Henderson described receiving what he called a chilling phone call from Epstein, who was reportedly enraged by Ferguson's public comments. Despite the family controversy swirling around her, Princess Eugenie has pressed forward with her anti-slavery work, demonstrating a commitment to the cause that extends beyond personal circumstances. As one royal observer noted, "Princess Eugenie is simply going on with her life. This is a cause that Eugenie has always championed, and one she seems particularly passionate about." The campaign's goals extend far beyond raising awareness. Princess Eugenie's organization is calling on governments to collect and share data on illicit trade and counterfeiting, implement and enforce forced labor bans, and take the underground world of counterfeiting more seriously. They want to see coordinated international action to crack down on the criminal networks that profit from human misery. Sarah Woodcock, CEO of the Anti-Slavery Collective, explained the organization's broader mission, saying, "Our mission at the Anti-Slavery Collective is to uncover and disrupt the hidden systems that perpetuate exploitation." Counterfeit fashion is a clear example of how organized crime intersects with human rights abuses. By working together across governments, businesses, and civil society, we can start to dismantle these networks and ensure that no one has to pay for fashion with their freedom. Princess Eugenie's work in this area represents part of a broader portfolio of charitable activities. Beyond the Anti-Slavery Collective, she serves as an honorary patron of the Teenage Cancer Trust alongside her sister Princess Beatrice, works as a global ambassador for children's charity Street Child, and holds the position of patron for the Asian wildlife charity Elephant Family. Recently, Princess Eugenie visited a safe house for survivors of human trafficking run by the Salvation Army, where she participated in crafting workshops with those receiving support and praised the dedication of the staff. These hands-on engagements demonstrate her commitment to understanding the real-world impact of the issues her charity addresses. The technology component of the campaign is particularly noteworthy. The partnership with Entropy, a leader in AI-powered verification technology, represents how emerging technologies can be used to combat illicit trade. By making it easier to identify authentic goods and track supply chains, technology could play a crucial role in disrupting the counterfeit market. As consumers, the message from Princess Eugenie's campaign is clear. Our shopping choices have consequences that extend far beyond our personal budgets. The campaign urges people to pause and think about where their fakes come from and how they were made, because as Princess Eugenie emphasized, fake fashion is linked to forced labor and